Our project will focus on the Tennessee coal fly ash slurry spill that occurred on October 8, 2008, around 1 o'clock in the morning in Kingston, Tennessee. To understand the severity of the spill, you must first understand coal ash, fly ash, and its byproducts. Coal ash is the waste material that occurs when coal is burned. This includes fly ash, a fine powdery material that is composed mostly of silica from the burning of coal in a boiler. Coal and fly ash contains many heavy metals and toxic hazardous materials such as mercury, arsenic, lead, and others. Additionally, coal ash produces fluidized bed combustion as well as xenophores and flue gas desulfurization material. On the morning of October 8th, a dike at the coal-burning power plant in Kingston, Tennessee, ruptured and resulted in the spill of 1.1 billion gallons of coal ash into the surrounding land and rivers, enough to fill 1,660 Olympic-sized swimming pools. It is the largest fly ash spill in the history of the United States.
No warning was able to be given for this disaster since the Northwest Dike, which was a wall preventing the flooding of coal ash at the Kingston fossil plant, broke suddenly in the early morning. The collapse occurred over approximately 1 hour in waves of breaking away and sliding. In addition, there was no time for evacuation of residents that lived in homes destroyed, and miraculously there were no human deaths from the incident.
A retaining wall at a power plant in the town of Harriman gave way. 525 million gallons of wet coal ash, enough sludge to fill a football field nearly a half-mile high, extended to approximately 3,000 acres of nearby land. The coal was released into the Swan Pond embayment and 3 adjacent sloughs, eventually spilling into the main Emory River channel.
The effects of the coal ash spill are still being experienced today. 6 months following the spill, it was estimated that a mere 3% of its remnants had been cleaned up. The spill resulted in the loss of nearly 80 residential properties, but had the biggest impact on the lives of river wildlife in the town. High levels of lead and thallium did incredible damage to many of the river creatures and their habitats. Although no lives were directly lost by the spill, the elevated levels of lead and thallium have been linked to birth defects and nervous and reproductive system disorders. The coal spill ash affected Kingston farmers' ability to successfully grow crops, having a negative impact on the economy. Lastly, the spill demonstrated what many feel is a call for laws regarding a stronger regulation on the waste products and disposing of coal ash.
At first, Gil Francis Jr., the spokesman for the Tennessee Valley Authority, or TVA, stated that coal ash has some heavy metals within it, but it's not toxic or anything. After this false statement was released, Chandra Taylor, an attorney with the Southern Environmental Law Center, responded by saying that coal fly ash contains concentrated amounts of mercury, arsenic, and benzene. Fly ash isn't regulated as a toxic pollutant by the EPA, so along with the Tennessee Valley Authority, they waited to take action until soil and water test results were returned. Secondarily, by December of 2008, the TVA had commissioned dump trucks to dump rocks into the Clinch River. This was to prevent further contamination downstream by stopping the river flow. In addition to this, the TVA requested assistance from the Army Corps of Engineers, a public works sector of the Department of Defense, to dredge the Emory River. By January of 2009, the TVA announced that instead of trying to clear away the slurry, they would spray seed and put straw and mulch on top of it to combat dust accumulation and erosion.
On December 26, 2008, the Tennessee Department of the Environment and Conservation stated that it was satisfied with the water quality in the wake of the spill, but that it will continue to examine and deal with the potential for chronic health effects to clean up the spill and restore the area. TVA spent $1 billion and was on pace to spend $200 million more with a recovery time of 7 years.
Hazard severity. While it is a regulated substance, coal ash is not technically considered a hazardous material by the EPA, despite it containing arsenic, mercury, lead, and over a dozen other heavy metals. This event was the largest fly ash release in United States history, and the spill spread into rivers and caused lead, beryllium, and other waste products levels to downstream to increase much higher than the EPA regulation level, causing the water to become unsafe. Yet despite these calculations, many spokesmen and water specialists have said that the water is good for drinking with the water filter systems designed to remove coal ash waste. The water upstream, however, remained viable and was virtually unaffected by the coal ash. The spill has affected the water supply for residents all the way from Chattanooga to Alabama. And then massive loss of fish life was found in the Tennessee River. Thank you. This concludes our presentation.